I'm Jason Takhtadjian with Armenian Sports News, and today we're joined by a very special guest. He is a two-time MLS All-Star MVP, MLS All-Star MVP, and MLS Cup champion, Alecko Eskandarian. Alecko, how are you doing today, man?
I'm great. I'm great.
Alrighty, talk to me about kind of where you're at. I know that I think it's about nighttime where you're at. It's daytime where I am, so we're on different parts of the world. Where are you? What are you doing? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, we're almost midnight here in Yerevan, Armenia. I got here late last week, but we're here for the Pan-Armenian Games that are going on. And this is my first time back since the pandemic, so it's certainly a special occasion given all that's happened since the last time I was here in 2019 and what the country and the people have endured. So I think it's really nice for all the transplants to kind of come back and visit the homeland and obviously use sport as a vehicle to kind of spread love and hope to the people here.
Absolutely. And, tell me about that a little bit more about the Pan-Armenian Games, about your experience there, who you've met, what you're doing there. Kind of give us a little bit of a breakdown. I know you're getting back into the 11v11 scene right now.
Yeah, no, obviously after my playing career was over, I stopped playing competitively altogether. And then back in 2017 was actually my first time visiting Armenia in my life. Just throughout my childhood and career, I was never able to have enough time off to visit Armenia. I was always just busy playing and had a pretty strenuous schedule. So post career opportunity, presented itself to come down here for the Pan Armenian Games. So I played in it in 2017 and in 2019, and then yeah, squeezing everything out of my 41-year-old legs at this point. But I'm here with the team from Glendale, California, and Los Angeles, and like most Armenians, I have plenty of roots and connections related to Glendale. A lot of family that lives in Glendale, and it's like a second home for me throughout my life. Again, visiting all my cousins and uncles and aunts there, and being a native at one point as well when I was playing with the LA Galaxy, living out in Southern California. So great to be here. I have a very young team that I'm playing with, which is great because most of them were not even born when I started my professional career. But it's great to kind of just pass down life lessons to the kids that I played with, and obviously so great to meet all the fellow Armenians from neighboring countries around the world as well.
Absolutely, and that's what Pan Armenian Games brings. Brings so many people together from so many different places, and I can relate with you when it comes to Glendale because that's where I was born and that's where I was raised until I was about 6 or 7 years old. So going back to your time in Armenia, are you there with some family? Are you guys enjoying and maybe going to see anything else outside of the Pan Armenian Games?
Yeah. My mom and dad both joined me on this trip. I have uncles, aunts, childhood friends of my parents that decided to make the trip as well. So we've all kind of convened here, and it's been really great, especially for me, just to see the joy on my parents' face. I don't think I've ever seen them this happy whenever they're able to reconnect with friends and family that they haven't seen in 40 plus years in some cases. So it's certainly special. It carries a lot of weight. And again, given all the circumstances that have been going on over the last few years, I think it makes it even more important and special for us to meet here. But yeah, it's been great. A lot of other athletes from different countries as well that are here and making new connections, and obviously there's a special bond between all Armenians, no matter where we reside, especially being here. It just makes it that much stronger.
Absolutely. And talking about the athletes that you mentioned, some of them weren't even born whenever you started your career. How impressed are you with the talent level that you're seeing this year around?
Yeah, there's a ton of talent. We actually have a game tomorrow, and one of the players on the other team was just playing with the Armenian full national team as recent as 3 4 months ago. So definitely high level, a lot of quality players that are here, very competitive. It's also very hot as well, so the elements are challenging a bit. But again, the spirit of the games is what's most important. But yeah, we're everyone's in it so far. Everyone's played one game. Everyone's about to play their second game tomorrow. So yeah, there's a lot on the line tomorrow, and it'll kind of the top teams will separate themselves a little bit. But most importantly, everyone's having fun. There's a bunch of gatherings and events, and like you said, even like sightseeing tours or whatever things that are going on, where everyone's getting a great appreciation for the entire country.
And are you still playing up top?
Yeah, I don't want to be, to be honest with you. I don't want to play up top. But yeah, I guess it's tough to find goal scorers these days. So I'm doing the best that I can, but yeah, I definitely am just drifting wherever there's as little contact as possible.
Going into
Um,
the open spaces.
yeah, listen, for me, this isn't about me. I'm not here to like showcase myself or my skills or anything like that. I want to help amplify the players that we have on our team and put them in the best positions to succeed. But yeah, if I can come up and score a goal, then for sure I will. But ultimately for me, it's just about enjoying the experience, making it memorable for these other players that are on the team, and again creating memories.
Absolutely. And I want to actually switch topics a little bit, but stay on the topic of soccer because we mentioned the Armenian national team, and I wanted to kind of just talk to you about that because I'm sure you're aware, couple months ago, they beat Wales and Latvia, and next month they got Turkey and Croatia coming up for their qualifications for Euro 2024. Talk to me about kind of how impressed are you with this new crop of talent, whether we're talking about Edward Spurzian or even Grant Leon Ranos and Nair Tiknizian, like guys like that.
Yeah, very impressed. There's a lot of talent coming out of Armenia. And I think the next step for this Armenian talent is just making sure they're in the right environment, getting quality training, quality matches in, and just reaching their maximum potential. There's always been talent. I think in some cases in the past, it was maybe mismanaged a bit, or players just didn't have an avenue to get to top clubs around the world. I think you're seeing a huge improvement with the domestic Armenian league is getting a whole lot better. A lot more top players are coming in. They're taking part in Champions League, and I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And then now you're seeing that funnel into players that are coming up the ranks in some other top leagues around the world, as well as some transplants who, like myself, when I was coming up, and if the opportunity came where I choose between the U.S. or Armenia, Armenia wasn't really even an option to consider back when I was coming up. It wasn't established. There wasn't the right funding or budget or opportunities that were there. Now you're seeing a lot of transplant Armenians who want to represent Armenia, who see the opportunity that comes with playing for Armenia, and players like Lucas Zarayan, who is playing in MLS, is Argentine by ethnicity, but has Armenian blood. He's a player that also has refound his love and identity with the Armenian culture, and has done great things with the national team as well. So as that continues, you're going to see more and more improvement from the team. And yeah, these next two games are really important. That match against Turkey is a payback game because I was a little bit disappointed in that first match when we played against them. It was a great start, but it just ran out of gas in that second half. Some again mistakes that is natural when you play younger players, but hopefully as they get more and more experience, it's going to translate into success.
Now you're involved with the MLS. You were obviously made your name for yourself in your career in the MLS, but now you're involved with the MLS, helping to grow the league. Tell me about taking what you're learning now, what you've learned in your career. How do you apply that to the growth of what you're doing in the United States, but also talking to these younger talents, younger players, especially whenever you have that exposure to them during these Pan-Armenian games? What do you talk to them about? What do you say to them? What sort of advice do you give to them?
Yeah, not to toot my own horn, but I just think I have a really really unique journey through this game, from being raised in a household that grew up with the New York Cosmos generations and being able to kick a ball around with Franz Beckenbauer and Pele and Carlos Alberto as a kid. My father having the experience of playing in the 1978 World Cup, having all of that as a child, and then parlaying that into my own career, playing professionally, coaching professionally, being involved in youth. So I feel like I've seen the game at all levels, all facets of it, and to still continue playing in the streets of New York City. in men's leagues and things like that. So I feel like I have a really unique journey through this sport, and I have a lot to offer to these kids. And like I said before, at the end of the day, it's not about me anymore, and now it's about this knowledge that I have. If I could help anyone, even 1%, on their own journey, then that's my duty now. So I'm constantly putting myself out there to try to help as much as I can.
Very well said, very well said, and I'm sure that some of those, or if not all those kids that you're talking to, they're very well appreciative of the words and the advice that you have.
I hope so. We'll see. You never know. I remember myself as a kid, sometimes, in one ear out the other, but at some point they'll get it, and hopefully my words will stay in their memory, and it'll help them along the way. But it's not just soccer; it's life as well. For a lot of these kids, soccer is the dream, but it's a very, very small percentage that end up making it. But there are a lot of important life lessons that come from playing this beautiful sport, that you could translate into success in other fields as well. So for me, that's the ultimate goal.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alecko. I appreciate it, and have a great time in Armenia.